Okay, my name is Maria Evans. I am taking TE 150 at Michigan State University, and I am supposed to vlog my interaction I had with this girl before, just learn about her culture and all that stuff. And her name is Emily. I'm not gonna say her last name because I don't know if I should. Um, Basically, me and Emily talked about like her culture and at home or her culture at school and all this stuff. We didn't really get too much in depth. We just had conversations about like racism and stuff like that and how it's still like alive during school, like not school, during like now times and all that stuff. We just had a simple conversation. I mean, I asked a couple questions about like I said about high school and at home, but we just had a regular conversation. I worked with her at Sparty's, and we met up at Sparty's. Just now, she was doing homework, and we just had a simple conversation. So this particular student, she grew up in Sterling Heights. She's a senior now. She pretty much she's white. She's pretty much like the not the stereotypical white person, but she's just like the average white person. Not just I mean I don't know how else to describe her. Like she told me like her high school was like mostly white. But she did have some diversity. Like she had some like black kids and Hispanic kids and stuff like that. She did have other people out of school, but it was mostly white. She did say that she had all white teachers. I asked her that. I was like, so what about the teachers? Like, are they pretty diverse? She said no, she had all white teachers, and I was like, she was pretty shocked about that because I had brought up in class like, yeah, 90% of teachers are white. They're not like any other race. They're mostly white. So that was pretty shocking to me also because like I was wondering like, oh, she was shocked about how most of her teachers are white and not like diverse. She told me she never really thought about it. So I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's kind of pretty much true. And then in my high school, I told her like, yeah, I pretty much had some of everybody. Like I had white teachers, I had black teachers, there were Hispanic teachers there. There were not technically Asian teachers, but we had someone that was like really efficient in speaking Japanese, so that was also an option at my school. But I pretty much had, you know, some of everybody teaching there, and then also my school wasn't. They were diverse, but we didn't like really have any white people there. We mostly had black, Bengali, and Hispanic students. That was mostly our population. Majority was black. Then a good great deal of them was Bengali, and a good great deal of them was Hispanic. So that was that with my high school in comparison. She just understood pretty much everything about it. About high school. Our similarities with high school, we were both pretty much similar. We pretty much hang with everybody. We hang with the popular group. We hang with the smart kids, the sport kids, like the athletic kids. I'm sorry, sport kids. The athletic kids. Because we were pretty much all around student. Me and her was pretty much the same in that. We didn't really have any differences with that. I asked her about books at her school, like how did they have new books all the time or not. She said for the most part they did, but she mostly used like iPads or MacBooks and stuff like that, which is the same for my school. We had MacBooks. I mean, not MacBooks, iPads, but we didn't have any new books at all. Like my school was like, no, they did not have the money for new books. But we did have iPads, so but let me see, like we didn't use these iPads in like our social studies classes and stuff like that. Like we didn't use them. We only like use them for like test taking. We didn't use them for like actually in the classroom. We used books for actually in the classroom. So the teachers did the best they can in terms of like teaching us from the book, and they use like outside sources for that. But yeah, no, we didn't really have new books. She was on the cheer team, and she had, if she said it was strictly white girls on there, her whole 4 years. That she wasn't saying like that's what they wanted. That's just what it was, and she always wondered why that was. I didn't. she was just like, we just never had any different type of people on the cheer team. And she was like, I hope we wasn't like not discouraging to other students, like diversity on the cheer team. Like that's just what it was. Like that's not what she was trying to like have. Um, in terms of family, she has two sisters, and her parents are still married. Parents never went to college. Her mom didn't graduate from high school, but she got her GDE later on. Oh man, I need to pop. Oh man. Okay. All of them are in college. All of her sisters in college. In terms of my family, I have 6 siblings, 3 brothers, 3 sisters. Both my parents are still married. Neither of them didn't go to college as well. They didn't go to college then. My mom was in college now. My dad got a trade in driving, transportation, pretty much. My older sister didn't go to college. She just went to the army. My 2 brothers did, and my younger sisters and brother, they're in high school right now, so I don't know, they probably decide to go to college. It's up to them. My sister want to go to Wayne. I told her to try to come here, but whatever. No, she didn't have a boyfriend in high school. I did. That culture is like dealing with like a relationship in high school is like, they were just my little friends, like my mom said. Her culture in terms of college, like living independently and by herself, it shows her how to like have that adultness, like being an adult. Like she's saying that culture is like very different from being on campus, and how to like time management and being able to like pay rent and buy food for yourself and all that stuff. So it's like it shows like you're not old enough, but like mature enough to live on your own. She said that culture is like very different. She said she wished she would have stayed on campus the second year she was here, but she ended up moving on campus because she wasn't going to come back here. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's pretty much what we talked about. My response to all this and my feelings about it. We talked about racism and how we just wish that everybody was just loving and at the same school and was able to like live and unite as one, because we are human. So that was my feelings on that. It's nice to understand like that people think like me, and it's nice to know that people that don't look like me think like me, like in terms of like racism and how people live together, like culture wise, so we can all come together as one and just do this thing as one and live this hard life as one, because life is hard. Like, so that's pretty much it that we talked about. It was a nice conversation. It lasted about like 20 minutes. So that's pretty much it.